Hola mi gente, ¿cómo están? Mi nombre es Alba Mar, me pueden decir Alba. El canal se llama Seriela, estamos aquí para hablar de libros, algunos de ellos en español, desde Puerto Rico. Hello, my name is Alba Mar, you may call me Alba. The channel name is Seriela, we're here to talk about books and some of them in Spanish from Puerto Rico. Today, I want to alleviate some of the stress from the aftershocks. There have been at least 4 aftershocks of significant movement and a lot of minor ones during the day. And to alleviate some of that stress, I had mentioned that I had wanted to do a flip through of my Book Bujo, and someone in my comments, who is a frequent commenter, I've noticed, her name is Valentina Garcia, said that she wanted to see the Book Bujo. And let me tell you, working on a bullet journal, which is what a bujo is, that's the shortcut for bullet journal, gives me a lot of peace and relaxation. And it did so today. So this is for you, Tina. I hope you enjoy it. So first of all, let me give you a fast look at what I'm currently reading, because it's going to come up in the bullet journal. Puerto Rico, Aftershocks of Disaster. On the 24th of January, it will be Arturo Schomburg's birthday. Diasporic Blackness, The Life and Times of Arturo Alfonso Schomburg. On Monday, when we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday, is when Oscar Collazo was born. And this is his memoir, which was compiled from letters from jail. So this is part of my carceral canon. Before I continue, let me put on the timers. And of course, I'm continuing with Wolf Hall, and I'm on schedule. So those are the books that I am currently reading, plus Don Quixote, for which I found a buddy. I'm buddy reading this with Adriana, and I'm on schedule with this too. Started on the 16th, which is when this was first published originally, on the 16th of January, so in 16 whatever. And yeah, so that's when I started reading it again, and this time I'm going to finish. So, and those are the books that are in my bullet journal for January. And this is my monthly spread for January. It's enero, because I write it in Spanish. And those red check marks are when I finish a book. This was Thomas Cromwell, A Revolutionary Life. And this was Terror by Edgar Wallace. And this was Seva. Oh, I love that book. It was so much fun. And then I have my mini trackers for each book. Have The Bluest Eye, which has not arrived. I don't know what I'm going to do. Wolf Hall, that's my progress. Aftershocks I haven't started yet, but I will. Seva is finished. Oscar Collazo, which I will start tomorrow. Schomburg I'll start this week. The Terror is finished. I thought it was much longer. The thing is that The Terror was included in an anthology with another novel. And River is my the book that I'm reading for reading German books. Yeah, that's River. Very evocative. Yeah, I'll talk about that some other time. And Don Quixote, I'm on track with Don Quixote. And each one of these squares, because it's graph paper, each one of these squares represents 50 pages. Yeah, that's how I do it. And on the other side are sometimes different challenges. In this case, Wolf Hall, Toni Morrison, read German books, and read your shelves, and Cancelathon. I will link Cancelathon and read your shelves. This is another book. I was going to read the group book for Cancelathon, but that hasn't arrived either. I live in Puerto Rico, what can I say? Here, where it says here, recomendaciones, those are recommendations. The recommendations are what I hear that grabs my attention on BookTube, and I write those books down on the right-hand side. Left-hand side is the calendar. I need a calendar. My brain does not function with the regular bullet journal style, vertical, 1 to 30, 1 to 30 to 31. No, I need to see a calendar. That's just how my brain works. I will write books that capture my attention right here, like Didi at Brown Girls Readings had a lot of wonderful books for 2019, and I wrote a lot of them down. And Ros at Scallydandling about the books, I wrote down the book that she had just filmed a video about. I think it is from New Guinea, an African country. It's called The Radiance of the King by Kamara Lay. I'll definitely look into that book. Jason at Byways in Bookland, Robert Fisk. That check mark means that I already ordered it. And then Britta, I just saw her video and her recommendations for German books, and they're right here. Gotta do this fast then. Let me show you. There it is. Valentina Garcia. I get these notebooks for $1 at my neighborhood convenience store 2 blocks away for $1. Can't beat it. And I do all sorts of things with these notebooks. Love them. Then I just wanted to show you really quick that I have my collections in the back of my bullet journal. That my reading challenge, I had this list of books even before I joined BookTube, and I would fill in the little squares once I read the books. Today I got a lot of satisfaction. Instead of filling in the little boxes, highlighting the books that I've read in green, right? Green for go. Yes, I did them. And I'm very glad to see that I am reading that TBR, original TBR that I had. These are the books in English, right? And then I have my books in Spanish and some in English also, but having to do with Puerto Rico, right? And out of 124 books on these 2 pages, out of 124 books, I've read 21 since starting BookTube. BookTube has really, I think it's been for the best as far as my reading life is concerned. Yeah. So I'm very thankful. Those are more books that I had added. Yeah. And these are more recommendations from real life people. Not that you guys aren't real life. You know what I mean. People that I know. This is my niece, who's a literature professor in the States. And she teaches Spanish literature, and she recommended some books to me. These are the podcasts for La Voz del Centro de Ángel Collado Schwartz. Yeah. I have here 108 podcasts, but he has hundreds and hundreds more. Then I wanted to show you that I had the spread for Reading Through the Ages, the bingo card for Reading Through the Ages with Mel at Mel's Bookland Adventures. And I did a few, right? The ones that are filled in colors are books that I've read. And here I have Read Around the World also with Mel at Mel's Bookland Adventures. Here I started off pretty well, pretty good. I couldn't find Celestial Bodies at the time, so I couldn't do the January selection. But I did February, March, and April, and then I just fell away. And I'm thinking that if I don't have this front and center where I can see it, and this one also, it probably won't get done, and it might not be a good idea to have this in the back of the bullet journal. I don't know, we'll see. And then I have the challenge Reto Literario in Spanish, and they suggest for January a biography, and I already showed you that I have two, one in Spanish and one in English, both of them for Puerto Ricans. And here I spent this afternoon, after I got back from leaving the supplies, donating the supplies for people who are camping out. And I did the Chunksters Reading Challenge with the message here, cultivating community and connection. Yeah. And here I'm going to write what I have read for January. I'm going to put down Cromwell right here. And then I'm going to also put down maybe Don Quixote? Yeah. Anyway, Cromwell is going down here. Cromwell is the first one. And then I just wanted to show you my, the Reading Women's Challenge that I have printed out right there. And I'm going to link the reading challenge down below. All of these things I'm going to link down below if I can find them. This is going to be great. I love the prompts here for this year's Reading Women Challenge. That's wonderful. And so that's basically it. Now, another important part, that's not just the bullet journal. I couldn't do without putting this calendar on my refrigerator. And I have to thank Katie at Books and Things for the idea of putting, you know, my goals and what I'm doing on the refrigerator door where I can see them every day. And I have my mini trackers there also. And I cross out the days so I know how many days I have left in the month to reach my monthly goal. And that's kept me on track. And then I also have my yearly plans or goals, right? This was last year's, and I revised it because I confused this part here. It wasn't working for me. So I revised it, and what I have on top is Puerto Rican nonfiction, Puerto Rican fiction, Español, which means any other country, right, that speaks Spanish, English nonfiction, English fiction, and the months of the year, and then just other categories that I might be interested in tracking, like women authors, people of color, Caribbean, meaning English-speaking Caribbean, my TBR list, which is the collections that I have in the back of my Bujo, and rolling TBR, which are the books that are left over from previous months, and BookTube events, and World, like Read German Books, Asianathon, Aussie April, etc., etc. Hispanic Heritage Month, Latinx-a-thon, you know, those things. And that's basically how I've been tracking what I read. And I'm not even going to show you, we're going to talk about my reading logs. This is mostly what I did before BookTube, because I used to go to the library a lot when I was in New York City. And then when I came and I subscribed to Books Free, and I had to return the books. And every time I have to return a book, now on Overdrive, I take copious notes, if the book is good, copious notes in my reading logs, and they're right here. I have to show you this one because my daughter made the book cover. Oh, she sewed this for me. Yeah, my daughter, the one who lives in New York City. Yeah. So, oh, I had wanted to show you before I leave the cover of my Book Bujo has a bit of the packaging that came with a book that Njeri from ONYX Pages sent me. The washi tape is covering the personal information, but I keep it there because it's a wonderful souvenir from BookTube, and I really appreciate that she sent me that book that I won. And the paper, got this idea from Didi at Brown Girl Reading. So yeah,